So once again, everyone, Nora is the Senior Vice President for Community Lending at Guild Mortgage. We're very grateful that she was willing to come out to Hawaii today. Nora, my question for you, and I wrote it down here somewhere. Nora, so you earlier on, you shared your insights on what it's going to take to increase housing opportunities, home ownership opportunities for residents. What is Guild working on right now to help bridge those growing hurdles that you talked about for home ownership?
You know, I could talk about 18 national housing initiatives that I launched in the last 11 months. That's it. I've only been with the organization for 11 months. My strong suit is execution. I love hearing ideas. I really maximize on ideas, but let me tell you, I execute. And then I turn around and I tell my leaders, my executive leaders, what ROI looks like. I'll talk about Hawaii because it's so important to me that I execute here. I was here in May, and my Guild loan officers had so much information to share with me. Today, that earlier panel, those are stories of impact. And I maximize those stories of impact. And that's when I create some of my best strategies. See, I'm here today, but I'll be back in March. I'm gonna do a first-time homebuyer event in Kona. I'm gonna teach housing industry professionals in Hilo on March 6th, March 7th, and that's not enough. I'm gonna come back to Oahu, and I'm gonna do a financial literacy event in partnership with all these amazing resources. I have to bring the housing ecosystem to the communities at an event location that looks like a church. Most of my housing industry professional colleagues, when they ask me for support, I love to share my strategies because can I tell you, I need to help those 71.2 million millennials, those 50 million that haven't bought a home. I love to share strategies, but I need us all to execute. You see, today, I'm sitting in this chair, but I brought two of my investors because I need them to hear these stories of impact. Tyler and Scott, raise your hand. Business owners that Matt just mentioned that need outside the box financing. They need to hear what I just heard. Christopher Johnson with Chinoa Fund, he and his CEO travel all over the country with me. They are a down payment assistance program, FHA, 0% down, and that's not enough. He and I were at MBA last week. He's gonna have a conventional program for first-time home buyers. And I have to tell you, I need to bring HUD counseling agencies with me to these events. I need your friends, your neighbors, your children, your grandchildren, everyone who hasn't bought a home, please share this financial literacy events. I wanna make a true impact. What does that look like? I need to be a trusted advisor in the community. I'm a trusted advisor on a national level. The islands need all of our help. I am not enough. I need your help. Guild loan officers, raise your hand. All I do is educate these loan officers nonstop, creating internal programs so that they understand buyer personas, financial literacy, lead with empathy. You know, there's times where I have to tell you, I show up at an event and people are holding my hand and they won't let go because I'm a trusted person, because I'm a safe space, because I care. And I don't just care because it's a finance gig. I care because I was 15 years old when my family lost my childhood home. And I remember crying that night and my mom coming to comfort me. And I remember screaming, so angry, telling her, when I grow up, I'm gonna help people stay in homes. And I had no clue that I was gonna be at Freddie Mac in Washington, DC, changing housing policy and truly caring. But I have to tell you, it starts with execution. I'm here to execute. I'll be back in March. Please, there's so much business for all of us. Housing industry professionals, understand your community, better understand buyer personas. And I know you're gonna tell me, Nora, I'm an expert. No. This buyer demographic looks completely different from 5 years ago pre-COVID. How do I know that? I used to study the portfolio at Freddie Mac. I used to get a team of analysts. We used to create think tanks so that I can understand and create housing strategies that were going to develop new ways for me to make an impact in the community. I have an appraiser here. He actually handles all national appraisers for me because he and I talk about strategies. How do we give effective evaluation for most of these homes? You guys, is there not an issue when appraisers go out and look at ADUs? Half of the time they're like, what is this? You know, he shared a story with me about a home that had a bathroom in a closet. And I said, what happened? And he's like, well, we'll get into that story later. I'm like, I wanna hear what happened, but guess what? He was able to make that transaction happen and make sure that home had health and safety. See, they need to hear, my entire system, ecosystem that travels with me needs to hear what I hear in a community.